Most new words per song.
Yeah.
Yeah. Little power shoot Canon camera. Wow, I forgot how good this is.
I'm Tamsin.
I'm Stella.
These are our top albums of 2024.
My most recent favorite is the new Field Medic album.
The happiness is boundless and true.
I think he's referring to it as a mixtape. It's less like Dope Girl Chronicles, which is another Field Medic album where there's like a clear story and a narrative and it feels almost like a concept album in that way. It's 10 years of old songs and things that didn't make it onto other projects. New songs too, just like it's from the archive thrown together. I love Field Medic, big inspiration of mine.
My next favorite album is Tiger's Blood by Waxahachie, which came out in March. I liked it so much because I really liked St. Cloud, and it feels like a continuation or like an evolution of that. The natural like next step from that album. I read an interview, I think it was an Exclaim, and she was saying she felt like when she released St. Cloud that she knew there was going to be like a before St. Cloud and like an after St. Cloud, that it was like a marker album in her discography, and I feel like that's true. I love the harmonies on the album, like with MJ Lenderman, Tiger's Blood, and in Right Back to It. The banjo, she has crazy lyrics and crazy rhymes. A caustic back knife slice and you.
Yeah.
Like who can get away with saying caustic?
I love when I learn a new word in a song.
Yeah, and Waxahachie is like the
most new words per song.
Yeah. Yeah, like probably one per song. Probably my most anticipated album of the year.
On my list, the album's called Imaginal Disc.
It's here, Imaginal Disc.
I always call it Magdalena Bay because this is the only album that I know from the artist. We were re-listening to it today.
That's really
and
good.
I put it on my list because I think it's great. And then when I was listening to it, I was like, wow, I forgot how good this is. Obviously, I remembered that it was good because I put it on the list, but it's better than I remembered.
It's better in the winter somehow.
Yeah,
it's a summer
so
album, but then
liquid.
it's like, oh, like I have still the summer in the winter.
To me, that album reminds me of a picture of the ocean on an early 2000s laptop.
It does have very much that vibe.
On a digital camera, and there's like the little like date next to it, and it's shiny little power shoot Canon camera that you've just plugged into your laptop and loaded the photos of. Anyway.
But with a beat.
With a beat.
My last one is an album that Stella showed me, which is Seed by Seed by Haley Hendrix.
Around me is trying to write.
And
Hendrix.
it's Hendrix.
Is it really? No.
And Stella showed me this like a month ago.
Oh really? When did it come out? In the spring?
It came out maybe for November 1st as well.
Yeah, I was told about it by people in person. I didn't hear about it online. To me,
I didn't hear about it at all online. It was so crazy.
Like, it
even
was
though it's
so
like famous.
it was
November
so
1st, yeah. But Stella played this for me and
we were at my house. What were we doing?
we were having mending day.
Yes, we were sewing.
Yeah, it's so good. The instrumentation is just perfect and beautiful, and the strings are really lovely, and I guess same thing about the vocal style, where she has a really big emotional range in her voice. But I feel like Hendrix's first album has a sort of playful lyricism where like some of the lyrics are very silly or like kind of like.
And it's been a while since that album.
It's been a while, but she
like
kept.
5 years.
And I think I didn't like her first album at first because of that, and then it really grew on me. And then she kept that in the new album, but it has a much more like, I don't know, not complicated, but like mature like instrumental sound. But she kind of kept, and the lyrics are also like very like thoughtful and serious at times. So then it veer into something that's a little bit silly, which I think is fun. For a lot of my life, I've really liked classic like 60s, 70s folk, Joan Baez and Joni Mitchell, and I don't know, Carole King if that counts.
Surely.
And Buffy St. Marie. So listening to this album, it was like so clearly influenced by that. I don't listen to a lot of that music anymore in a day-to-day way, so it was like, oh, like this really feels like something that I would have loved years ago, but I love it even more now because I've like sat with that music that I used to love for so long. These are all perfect albums in my 10 out of 10 for me, but I also am a very generous reviewer.
Imaginal Disc is my 10. I think Seed by Seed is also 10 for me. Wax is 8.5, and Field Medic is also like 8.5. Anyway, next one I have is 14 Minutes by Dominic Fike. I really loved his 2 albums ago album, What Could Possibly Go Wrong. I love that album so much. I think it might be like my top album ever on Last FM. I'll pull it up. I always like kind of felt ashamed of it because I felt like it didn't fit with like all of the rest of the music that I listened to or like the scenes that I was a part of, and it wasn't like a genre that I ever listened to, but I super love that album. I love the production more than anything, and I didn't love Sunburn, which came out after What Could Possibly Go Wrong. Then 14 Minutes came out this year, and I remember I listened to it first when I was skateboarding when I was home, going back and forth in this little tiny ramp, and I really love Mega Man off of that one. I also like High Grace. I really like the way that the sample is chopped and the rhythm of it.
Yeah, High Grace is my favorite too. We were listening to that Hemlock album at the same time. Okay. My first top album is Amen by Hemlock, which is actually maybe an EP, not an album.
Is it an EP?
It's like half an hour though, I feel like. So
how many songs are on it?
Maybe like 5 or 6.
And it's half an hour?
Yeah.
I guess that brings us into honorable mentions. Do you want to do yours first?
Yeah, my first honorable mention is the Jonah Yana album that came out this year, which is Jonah Yana and the Heavy Blue. My friend showed me that album, and then we ended up seeing him live when he came on tour. I like that album. I think it's very like has like a very lo-fi sound, but obviously like a lot of thought went into it. But
have you seen the 1 hour video?
Mm-hmm. And he has like a 1 hour or 24 hour. 24 hour, like they played for 24 hours like non-stop, which was really crazy. But speaking of like production or recording techniques, the whole album was, or all the vocals on that album were done with 58, and he said he did that because he wanted it to like feel like a live album, or other way around kind of, where like seeing him live felt like listening to the album. And it's like I think that's a kind of a good shortcut where it's like your vocals will just sound the same if you're recording on the same microphone. But very special sound on the album, and really cool concept where like the first side or the first half of the album is like a bunch of different songs, and the second half is like a really long, more experimental, like instrumental track, but kind of jazz vibe, kind of a lot of different sounds. And then my other honorable mention was probably Tear Your Heart Out by Villager, which I think I was listening to a little bit, and then our friend showed it to us and I listened to it a lot, which is mainly what happens to me, where I like something a lot more if someone I know really likes it. But it sounds a lot like Alex G, which is fun and just very catchy. Like, I don't think it's not a perfect 10 for me, but I listened to it so much this summer. I always like, whenever I have a long period of time to myself, I just find one album and I listen to it over and over again. I like the piano sounds on it. Sounds almost like a little bit upright, a little bit like not unserious piano sound, but like I listen to it, I'm like, oh yeah, that sounds like something that I could record. And it almost sounds like a piano line that I would write to a lot of the time. Thinking of maybe the song Low, I think, has a piano that I like on it.
Yeah, I'm only gonna go with one, and it's Katie Kirby's Blue Raspberry. It's an honorable mention because it's not something that's loopable for me. I wouldn't really want to listen to it twice, and it does feel repetitive song to song. I went to see it, Allegra Krieger. Was she not on your list?
Oh, well, I think I haven't listened to it enough. Actually, honorable mention for me.
Honorable mention.
Allegra Krieger, Unseen Out of the Infinity Machine.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah. So she opened for Katie Kirby, and I went to see that in Seattle with my partner, and it was a really awesome show. They were really great live, and it was really intimate, and we were like right up at the front, and so I have that memory attached to that album, so when I listen to it, it's very colored by that. I think Katie Kirby I like to listen to more in songs, though, than in albums, because I feel her sound is a little bit repetitive.
Yeah. Are we doing a Nepo section?
This is our nepotism section, so this is very local or very good friends of ours.
But still very good. But we
Still
were like,
awesome.
some of these we're gonna put on our main list, but then we were like, people are gonna be like, I don't know what people would say. People wouldn't care.
I wanted to just make the distinction.
It's more special if you know it's local. My friend Evan's album, Everyone Is So Dang Nice Here, which was a split album.
Mom's Talk.
My Mom's Talk, his group's called Mom's Talk, and then the other group was Beholding.
Who's Beholding?
They're from maybe Kamloops or Interior BC. I don't quite, or maybe they're not. I don't know. Remember, I shouldn't say. I don't know who Beholding is.
Splits are so cool.
Yeah, I think Evan's half is really cool. Both halves are really cool, but I've listened to Evan's half more because I know him. But it's really interesting guitar parts and the way that the guitar and the vocal like weave together. It's really nice. Very like intricate lyrics and also structures, I feel like. And yeah, cool, like kind of lo-fi. I also liked everything that Blush put out this year was really good. They had like an EP and then also a live EP, and it was fun because I like heard all the songs in the live EP live a bunch of times first, and then I heard the live EP.
My nepotism pick is Kylie V's. There is a lot of variation in the vibes of the songs. Again, like I was talking about how that's a big factor for me. We really loved the song Anomaly. We were doing some work together at a studio at a point in the winter, and we were just, the work that we had to do with setting up the speakers, and so as soon as we got the speakers set up, the first song we wanted to play was Anomaly, and we looped that a couple times.
So much that with the Bandcamp was like, you can't listen to the song anymore unless you buy it.
Yeah.
And then I actually think I did buy it. Because I was like, well, duh. Like, bye.